Good evening, everyone. How you doing tonight? Welcome to the stream. Glad to see ya. Welcome, welcome, friends. How you doing? You doing good? I don't know if there's any way to actually do like a dark theme on this website, but what we're doing on the stream tonight is we are going to be ranking every single ship in Star Citizen. Subtitles on stream when? I don't think that's possible. Sorry, Samat. Hang on, this is a great song, but I don't want songs with lyrics. Stop talking over me, song. Just turn it down a little bit. There we go. You're still at work? Ah, sorry, dude. Just pop in some earbuds. Pop in some earbuds. You'll be fine. That chat does not look great on the white background, does it? Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can. How does this one look? How does this one look? I don't know about that. How about let's try that. Auto close caption. Does that work on live streams? I don't know if that works on live streams. Closed captions unavailable. Yeah. Probably doesn't work that great on live streams, unfortunately. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Doesn't seem like you'll be able to get closed captions until the stream gets posted. Start with the 400i. We're just gonna start at the top of this list and go down. Yeah. And you know that this list is 100% accurate. All right. Let's get into this. All right. And I don't know if anyone else is gonna join the Discord call and give me crap, but start out. I think this is the Eclipse here. So the Eclipse is a pretty cool ship. Super neat. Stealth bomber, carries you know, a bunch of, or it carries 3 size 9 torpedoes. Very stealthy. Not amazing for dogfighting because it doesn't have like super great guns. But I think it's a pretty neat ship. It's very stylish, very cool to look at. It is, I think the main problem that I have with the Eclipse is it's pretty niche. Like, it's not a ship that you're gonna be breaking out like all the time. So I think we're gonna put it in the B tier for those reasons. All right, the Mustang Alpha. Hang on. Stop talking at me, music. I'm trying to get music without vocals in it. There we go. All right, the Mustang Alpha. You guys probably know I really like the Mustang Alpha. I think the Mustang Alpha is a great little ship. It's very, very nice to look at. Really? How many of these songs have frickin' vocals? There we go. Yeah, I as far as starter ships go, I do prefer the Mustang Alpha over the Aurora. Baka. Thank you for the Bakamoo. Yeah, I much prefer the Mustang Alpha over the Aurora. I just think it looks nicer. I prefer the guns. I just really like the Mustang Alpha. I'm gonna drop that into A tier. Mustang Beta, also a really good ship. It's basically a Mustang Alpha. Doesn't have the cargo rack underneath, but instead it does have a really cool little interior cabin in the back. You'd be really surprised at how roomy it actually is in that little interior cabin. It's so roomy. It has so much space. It's really super neat. It's a neat little ship. So I really like the Mustang Beta as well. The Origin 600i. Hi, Saban. How you doing? The Origin 600i touring version. This is a great ship. It's got great shields with the twin size 3s, great weaponry with the triple size 5 guns for the pilot. Of course, the remote turret guns that carry distortion weapons. Extremely, extremely neat. Obviously, of course, the interior of this ship is absolutely gorgeous. It has my favorite thing in the ship is the TVs that come out of the base of the beds. If you guys have never messed around with the 600i touring, it's so neat. And in like the footboards of the beds, there's little TVs that slide up and down. It makes me so happy. I love it. So we're gonna drop the 600i 600i touring version in the S tier. All right, the Oh, I just realized that Moo's been shouting at me in the Discord, but we're just gonna ignore her. All right, the Vulcan. The Vulcan is small and chunky. It is a repair and refuel ship. It's quite small, actually. I can't remember exactly the dimensions of it, but it's a lot smaller than its concept art would lead you to believe. I like the Vulcan. I think it's a neat ship. I think it's really cool and unique, and I think it will fill a pretty unique role in the game when it comes out. So I'm gonna put it in the high A tier. All right, what is this? What is this thing? Oh, that's the Hawk. Ah, the Hawk. All right. So the Hawk is terrible. It really is. Man, it's such a cool looking ship, but just like armament wise, it's super garbage. It has an EMP, but it's like the worst EMP in the entire game. Charges super slow, does not do much at all. It's just really bad. It doesn't fly all that great. It's got that weird like prisoner cell at the back of it that doesn't really work. Can I zoom in a bit on the tiers? It's a bit hard to see the ship pics. Yeah, let me see if I can enhance. There we go. Is that better? Yeah. How you doing? How you doing, Pika? Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to put the Hawk in the D tier. It's so bad. So bad. Oh, man. All right. The Pioneer. Less white space. Yes. The Pioneer. All right. The Pioneer is a pretty cool ship. Obviously we don't have it yet, so we don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but we do know that it is a capital ship. It is a base building ship. It's consolidated outland, which is always a plus. Love consolidated outland ships. It's a little bit difficult to judge how good it's actually going to be because we don't have it yet. But I'm gonna put it in the A tier there, I think, for right now. I don't have one of these. I know that it is one of the rarer ships. It's not sold as often as some of the other limited hull ships. But I think you feel like I should leave the concepts for last. I mean, that would probably be a good strategy, but then they would all kind of like pile up in here. We're just gonna plow through this thing. It's an unfair comparison with flyable ships. I mean, maybe, but unsubbing because I didn't put the Pioneer and Goat. All right, the Crucible. Now, the Crucible is kind of a weird ship. It's like a repair ship. It's got like this bay that you like fly in and you can like repair and stuff inside the ship. I might be a little bit of the of an outlier here. I am not the hugest fan of the Crucible, and I can't really explain why. I just think it looks kind of weird, and I'm not sure that I would entirely enjoy flying it. But I think that having the Crucible around will be super good when you can, like, you know, repair ships just on the fly, like it can do. So I'm gonna put it in the B tier. The Terrapin. All right. So the Terrapin is a neat little ship. It's a little turtle. Very, you know, heavily armored. Big scanner array. Currently completely useless. It flies terribly. The big scanning package doesn't really do anything at all, unfortunately. But I do think that it's a neat little ship. It is the little turtle that could. So I'm going to put the Terrapin there in the B tier. The Archimedes. I think this is the Archimedes Emerald. Man, I hate these things. The Archimedes and the Merlins are so unbelievably irritating in frickin' Arena Commander when you're doing like Pirate Swarm and stuff like that. They are so fast and so hard to hit, but they obviously don't really have very big guns either. They also don't have a quantum drive, which really limits their usefulness. Like they only work as a snub ship off of like a Connie. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm gonna put it in the D tier. The Mole. The Mole. You guys know I love Argo ships. Argo ships are fantastic. The Mole is great. Mole is we're not on the M50. We're nowhere near the M50, dude. I really like just get out of here with your lyrics. Yeah. Stupid music. Stop having lyrics. All right. Yeah, the Mole. I love this thing. I think it's so cool. It is so industrial. I love the orange paint on it. They sold like a black one and a white one, but I love the orange paint that comes. It's basically standard on Argo ships. It's so good at mining and stuff. Oh my gosh. Why does everything have lyrics? Stop it. Yeah, I love the Mole. I'm gonna put it up here in throw that purple paint on. I do think the purple paint looks nice on it. That's true. Ugh. Why do I even try to have music on my streams? Hey, don't say ew to our purple paint. How dare you? Banu Merchant Man. I mean, where else can it go except for S? Ugh, stop it. I like purple paint. Yeah, oh man, I'm so excited for the Merchant Man. It's gonna be so cool. Time to listen to some Beethoven or something. Yeah, maybe hang on, do I just need to pull up the Star Citizen OST? Hang on, let me just pull up some Star Citizen music here. There we go. That'll do it. All right. Yeah, the Merchantman is huge. It's got massive guns. It's got that hangar, so much cargo space, gorgeous interior. I'm so excited for this ship to come out. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Yeah, we're going to put it right up there in S tier. All right. Now this is that the Blade? I think that's the Blade. Oh boy. let me just look through here and make sure that it is actually the blade. Okay. Yeah, I think it's the blade because I'm not seeing anything else that looks like the blade. So I'm just gonna assume it's the blade. The Asperia blade. Man, this ship looks so cool. But boy, is it absolute garbage. What a terrible ship. It's so bad. It's so bad. Man. Like, oh boy. The the weapons it comes with are all bespoke and they're all really bad. The missile racks it comes with are also completely bespoke. It just does not fly very well. Does not have that amazing of hull HP. Yeah, it's just kind of like just not very good. It's just really fragile, has like no fuel at all. Man, this thing is bad. It is, yeah, I don't like the blade at all. The Buccaneer, on the other hand, I love the Buccaneer. This is the first ship I ever flew in Star Citizen, so I might be slightly biased towards the Buccaneer, but I really do like it. As far as fighters go, it's not like super agile, but man, can you put some big guns on this thing. And this thing, because it's got a size 4 hard point, it can absolutely demolish stuff. It's pretty crazy. With how I raked the blade over the coals, you were expecting it to hit the trash tier? At least, no, because at least it looks cool. Like, it at least is very pretty. So I'm not going to put it in trash. Trash is for things with no redeeming qualities at all. Yeah, Buccaneer is fantastic. I think we're going to put the Buccaneer up in A tier. Yeah. All right, the Mercury Star Runner. I love the Mercury Star Runner. I think the Mercury Star Runner is a great ship. It is so pretty. Such a unique design. It's super fast. Has pretty decent firepower when you've got it fully crewed. Yeah, it's just like, it's great for running cargo. It's great for doing stuff in Xenothreat. It's pretty decent in combat. I wish that it had Endeavor is in trash. Oh wait, oh, how did that get in there? I wasn't even paying attention. It must have just naturally gravitated to the place where it belongs. Has a working chess table. Yeah. I love the Mercury Star Runner. We're gonna toss it right up there. Yeah, the Endeavor's hot garbage. It's so terrible. I mean, there's a reason that John Crew, the head of like the ships department at Cloud Imperium, just does not even want to touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. It is such a mess of a design, because it was designed in a period where they had no real concept, or like they didn't really have an idea of what they were actually going to be able to accomplish, or what was actually going to be like realistic for them to actually do. And so they were just kind of chucking out ideas, and someone was like, hey, how about we make a ship that is completely modular and does everything in the entire game? That'll be easy. Yeah, it's just an absolute nightmare. I can guarantee you this is going to be the last ship they ever make flyable. It is such a just disaster of a design. And what's going to happen, I think what's going to happen with the Endeavor is either they're just not going to make it, or what they're going to do is they're going to split it up into like several different ships, kind of like they did with like the Ares or the Starlifter, and just have, because just anything that has to do with modularity is just a complete disaster already. Like we can already see that they have no interest in dealing with anything that has to do with modularity. And not only does this thing have to do with modularity, but it's also supposed to do like medical gameplay and have a hangar and be able to do like science and like scanning and system mapping and like botany and like all of these things that are just like nowhere even within the conceivable realm of even starting development. It is such a nightmare of a design. It is such a piece of hot garbage, and it's staying in the trash tier. Don't argue with me. The Banner Defender, crab. I love the Banner Defender. It's such a neat little ship. I think it's so fun. This thing has, I don't think people realize how much quantum fuel the Defender has. This thing has so much, just not even just the quantum fuel, just fuel in general. If we're comparing it to the Blade, for example, it carries 10 times as much hydrogen fuel as the Blade does, and it carries how does math, 5 or 6 times as much quantum fuel. This thing can go so far on a single tank. It's extremely long ranged. The weapons on it are actually modular. It looks super neat. It's got room inside for doing boxes. The only thing that I would say about the Banner Defender is it is so expensive. $220 for a light fighter is pretty crazy. But I do think it's a neat little ship, so we're gonna put it in B tier. Great if you're from the UK, you can drive on the right. Yeah, you get to pick which side you drive from. It's very neat. The Herald. Oh boy, the Herald. This thing is really interesting. It does have its own dedicated hangar in the Banner Merchantman. The Defender as well does, yeah. Which is an absolute plus. Unfortunately, you don't get one when you buy a Banner Merchantman, so you have to spend an extra $220 or whatever it costs in Alpha UEC, almost 3 million Alpha UEC for it, which is pretty pricey, yeah. Yeah, the Herald is, oh, okay. All right, let me break down my thoughts on the Herald. It's so fast. It's a neat little ship. It's got a cool interior. It is ridiculously fast. Does not have the greatest handling and does not really have that great of weapons either. It's pretty much a one-trick pony, but it does what it does really well. It's not particularly pretty, but it is kind of goofy. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. I think we're gonna put the Herald in the C tier. The Vulture! The Vulture is a super neat ship. I actually really like the way the Vulture looks. I think it's a really cool design, honestly. I'm really excited for Salvage as well. I think Salvage sounds like a pretty cool gameplay loop. And I think that, you know, when the Vulture comes out with Salvage in 3.18, it's going to be a super neat little ship. I do also love the yellow paint scheme on it. I think it looks really nice. Yeah, we're going to toss the Vulture up in A tier. The Gladius Valiant. Oh, boy. Let me just pull this thing up. So the Gladius Valiant is a Gladius that it's just a Gladius with different paint that... Hey Zyron, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. The Valiant weighs 0 pounds, does it really? Oh, you're right. I don't know about 0 pounds, but I'm according to Urkel, it is slightly lighter than the normal Valiant. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much... It is pretty much just a Valiant with a different color that, it's just a differently colored Valiant that is, like, pretty significantly more expensive and doesn't offer any real upgrades to it. I mean it's a Gladius, so it's like good, but the extra price tag for basically nothing gained. I mean it has like a different starting loadout, but that's not particularly important. Hey Moo, we've got a bot. Can you delete it, please? Thank you. Yeah, it's yeah, well, yeah, I mean we'll put it in the A tier. I mean it looks pretty neat. The Glaive. Oh, Glaive. Man, this thing is gorgeous. It's so pretty. One of the prettiest ships. Like that flame design down the wings and stuff like that. So neat looking. I really do like the Glaive. It's not like amazing in combat though, is kind of the problem. Like it's pretty slow, if I recall from the last time I flew it. Like it does not handle very well, does not have that great of fuel. Also it has the problem of having the weapons being completely fixed. It can stab ships. Does it break the blades off when it stabs the ships? Okay, so at the most it can stab 2 ships. Oh, it doesn't break the blades off. I just don't know how I feel about your best offensive strategy being crashing into people. I'm just not sure not sure how I feel about that. But it's extremely pretty. It's decently strong. I think we're gonna put it in. I think we put it in the A tier, somewhere there. Yeah. Yeah. All right. The hull. I think this is the B. That's the B, right? Give me just a sec. I just need to make sure that. Yep, that's the B. All right, hull B. $140 standalone pledge. 50 meters long. 384 SCU of cargo space. That's a pretty insane amount of cargo for the price that it is. I mean, it's about. That's pretty similar cargo capacity to the Hercules M2, I think, if I'm remembering things correctly, or is it the? Okay, it's somewhere between the M2 and the A2 on cargo capacity. Where does it compare to? But it's like triple what a Freelancer Max has, which is about the same price. Obviously not great in combat, but it is such a good budget cargo hauler. I think that the hull series are super neat. Yeah, we're gonna toss the hull B up into the A tier. Is that the D or the E? That's the E. The hull E. This thing is fully ridiculous. This is another ship that I think that we're not gonna see for an extremely long time, just because of how ridiculous it is. It's completely colossal. I mean, it's almost the size of a javelin. Their, estimated cargo space is almost 100,000 SCU, which is just completely absurd. Very, very cool. Very, very expensive. Probably will not see this thing till, it'll probably be a few years before we actually see the hull E, I would imagine. But we'll toss it up in A tier with the hull B. The Javelin. I mean, what can you say about the Javelin? It's going in S tier. Like, it's just so cool. It's so big. Such just gigantic guns. Gigantic torpedoes. Such a cool design for a ship as well. I really like the way that it looks. The big thing with the Javelin, obviously, is just having enough people to actually competently crew it. Can be pretty difficult just because it is so big. And I forget what the exact minimum crew complement for the Javelin is, but it's a lot of people. Yeah. The Hurricane, the angry green flying Dorito. Man, this thing is strong. It's incredibly strong. The whole E for transporting your wife's walk-in closet full of clothes when you move houses. Javelin should be GOAT just because it's the Javelin. I mean, you say that. I don't actually have one, so... Maybe if I had a Javelin, I would be more inclined to move it up further, but in order for me to do that, you're going to need to like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you're new to playing Star Citizen, make sure to use my referral code to help me get a little closer to that Javelin, and also get 5,000 extra credits when you start playing the game. Anyways. I have some... I know that people really love the Hurricane. I have some gripes with it. So, first of all, I don't think that the Hurricane is that great looking of a ship. I mean, it's fine. It's not ugly, but it's not pretty either. And this is where I'd put my Javelin if I had one. Exactly. It's not that pretty either. It's just kind of like mid. Oh, I realized. Hang on. I should give me a sec. I should move myself over here so you guys can actually see what I'm pointing at on my screen. There we go. Yeah. That's much better. Quality content, you guys. Quality freaking content. All right. But man, this thing is strong in combat. It's pretty crazy. I personally don't like the turret on the back of it. I think the field of visibility on the turret is pretty bad. It's got like this metal thing that's like right here. So if you look up, you're just staring at metal. So the visibility out of the turret isn't that good. I also find that whenever I've flown one, it breaks fairly easily. I'm not sure if that's just my bad luck or not, but it's a good ship, honestly. So we're gonna toss it up here in the B tier. The Argo MPUV personnel. Now this is trash. It's not great. Honestly, like it's just a very, very, very slow shuttle and is completely useless at this point in time. The Origin 85X. The Origin 85X is okay-ish. It's not that great. I think it's pretty ugly. It can fit 2 people, which is kind of neat, for a snub ship, but doesn't have that great of guns. It flies okay, only has 1 shield. I think it's pretty mid. We're gonna put it in C tier. The Pirate Caterpillar. This thing is terrible, and let me tell you why. I'm honestly actually tempted to put it in the trash tier, but I think we'll just leave it in the D tier. So the normal Caterpillar is slow, unwieldy, fragile with the shields down, horrible interior, horribly confusing. The Pirate Caterpillar is that, but also the paint scheme is bad because they changed it and it no longer has this red on the wings. It's just it has no red on it at all. It's just completely black, but it has like the little skull on the wing. And you can only get it with 6 months insurance. And it's more expensive than a normal Caterpillar. And you can only have it with 6 months insurance because you can only buy it standalone. You cannot upgrade to it. It's just a terrible deal. It doesn't look nearly as cool as it does in this picture. It's just straight black, with just like a tiny skull on this one wing. It's really, it makes me very, very upset. The Polaris. The Polaris has got to go up here in S tier. I'm so excited for the Polaris. I think it looks so cool. It's such a neat ship. It's gonna be a very, very great ship to take out on an exploration into hostile areas, just because it's so well armed and well defended. Capital class components. Very fast, has a hangar that can that can fit, you know, up to like a saber or one of those smaller heavy fighters. Excuse me. Yeah, big guns, massive torpedoes. That thing is gonna kick some serious butt, and I'm all for it. So excited for the Polaris. The Prowler. All right. So man, the Prowler is not great. As things stand, it is the second worst dropship in the game. People always bring up the fact that it can kind of dogfight, except not really, because anything that's actually dogfighting is going to be way faster than this thing. It does have twin size 2 shields and like really, really heavy stealth reduction on the hull. But does not have that many drop seats. You can't fit any vehicles in it. Only the pilot and maybe the co-pilot actually get guns to help fight things. And also it's $440. It's so expensive. It is I think $100 more expensive than the Valkyrie, which is the best dropship in the game. And there's just it's so incredibly overpriced. I mean, it looks cool, but it is the most overpriced ship in the game, in my opinion. And that's a shame. It's a real shame. The Saber Raven, neat ship, very rare. Very exclusive to people who, you know, either got it when that promotion thing was going on or bought it off the gray market, which usually is kind of a cost a premium. I actually don't like the way that the Saber Raven looks as much as the normal Saber. Personally, I think the normal Saber looks a lot nicer. I'm also not a huge fan of EMPs. I've heard that the one on the Saber Raven is kind of broke right now. It's also not at gold standard like the rest of the Saber family is. So it's a little bit jank. I think it's neat, but it's nothing like super special. The Razor, which one is this? Is that the LX? I don't know. I have no idea what the difference between all of the Razors are. You saw Star Citizen gameplay on Valve's handheld Steam Deck? Really? I'm surprised that the Steam Deck can handle Star Citizen. I mean, like, full-on, like, gaming laptops can barely handle Star Citizen. Yeah, the Razors are neat. They're pretty fast. I mean, they're racing ships. I don't really care about racing all that much. I'm just gonna chuck it in the C tier. They're all right. The Retaliator's pretty cool. I love the submarine feeling of it. It's very claustrophobic. Very cool. This thing has so much hull HP, which makes up for it not having very good shields. It can eat quite a bit of damage. Of course, carries the size 9s. Yeah, it's a super neat ship. I think we're gonna chuck the Retaliator up here in the B tier. The Apollo. This is the Triage, I think. I'd love to. Are you in the Discord, Zeron? if you're in the Discord, if you can find that video, chuck it in the videos channel. I'd love to see that. That sounds interesting to see Star Citizen running on the Valve Steam Deck. All right. Yeah, the Apollo triage. I love the Apollo. I think the Apollo is such a cool, I think the Apollo series is such a cool looking ship. I'm not sure exactly what it is about it that I really like, but I just really like the designs of the Apollo. I think the whatever this red one is not quite as good as the other version. But I think that we are going to toss it up in the A tier. Yeah, I think we'll put it right up at the top of the A tier. There we go. Yeah, I really like the Apollo. I think we need more dedicated medical ships in game for medical gameplay. I would love to do medical gameplay, but the only medical ships we have at the moment are the Cutlass Red and the Carrack and the 890 Jump, which are just way too big and unwieldy to be like just taking it around all around everywhere. Thank you. Do you think it would be a cool idea if Star Citizen did a cross-universe with other well-known sci-fi series? I think that would be interesting. I don't know that it's bound to happen anytime soon. But I think they could. I think they could make something neat out of it. Yeah. It would definitely be something kind of interesting and different to see. Hey, Zeron the Gamer, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. I appreciate it. And that's a good reminder to anyone here in the stream who has not subscribed to me on YouTube. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It costs you literally $0 and brings you endless happiness because you get to listen to my voice more. The Orion. Man, the Orion's such a cool looking ship. I cannot wait to just like randomly stumble into an asteroid field to just see one of these things just literally eating asteroids with those gigantic mining lasers of it. So cool, so massive. Very excited to see it in game. We're gonna chuck it up here in the A tier for now. The Genesis Starliner. Some people really like this thing. I'm not sure if I completely adore the design of it personally. I'm not sure that I like it as much as I like some of the other Crusader ships, but I think it looks pretty neat. Guarantee the name Om Nom Nom will be highly sought after. Nice. Ooh, Steam Deck's gameplay Star Citizen. Nice. Thank you for posting that. I will have to check that out at some point. All right. I think we're gonna chuck this. Let's chuck that in the B tier for now. Yeah. Have I played Space Engineers? Yes. Or Imperium Galactic Survival? No, I have not played that second one. I've never even heard of that second one. The Asperia Talon. What a gorgeous ship. Honestly, one of the prettiest ships in the game. This thing is so pretty. And obviously people love it because it's extremely strong. I mean, it was kind of meta-defying for a while, right? But what a neat looking ship. I mean, it's kind of hard to hate the Talon. Yeah, I think we're gonna. Yeah. All right. Keen linked a new window block. Window block? What? The Santok Yai. Santok Yal? This thing. I have honestly, I have like no thoughts on this thing. Like it looks all right. It's like a heavy fighter, kind of similar to the Cartual. It'll probably sound great. I'm not 100%. What are you doing? Hello, dog. What are you doing under my bed? Get out from under there. Come on. Stupid. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll chuck it in C tier. Why not? The Tonk. I mean, Tonk's got to be A tier, right? Like it's the Tonk. It's so cool. Massive cannon on that thing. Just like just pretty epic. I mean, it's a tank. What more can you say? No, doggo, turn off my PC. No, don't turn off my PC, please. He's nowhere near my PC. He's just under my bed doing something. I don't know what he's doing under there. He's just looking at me. I can just see his nose sticking out from the bed. He's just staring at me. Dork. The Prospector. It's all right. It's a good ship. Good for making money. Not particularly pretty or like love inspiring, but man, I've made a lot of money in the Prospector. With one of these for different starships from a different sci-fi series. I think they've made a few ships that are kind of similar to ships from other series as kind of like an homage to that series. The 890 jump, man, I love the 890 jump. Yeah, we're gonna chuck that up here. 890 jump is so cool. It's so gorgeous, so opulent. I always feel so epic whenever I'm flying it around. I mean, it's just amazing. It's so big. I mean, it's the only capital class ship that we have that's actually flyable right now, and it's just great. Every time I pull out an 890 jump, I think it's just awesome. Okay, then what's your favorite space frigate? What do you classify as a space frigate? The Endeavor is S tier at least. Now you know you can't trust my opinion. No, the Endeavor is complete trash. Go back in the stream and listen to my explanation. I'm not going there again. The M50, the M50 is all right. It's better than this thing. Honestly, the more, yeah, I don't like this. M50 is all right. It's very fast. I don't really care about racing, but it's a nice looking ship. Very fast, very fun to fly. Yeah, the M50 is neat. Space. What do you define as a space frigate? Is the good question. The Vulture is a bit of a ripoff of an Eve ship. Yeah, I've heard that. A warship with a mixed armament, generally heavier than a destroyer, and of a kind originally introduced for convoy escort work. That we have in game right now, I would say probably. Oh, thank you for the follow on Twitch, Ninja Waffle. I appreciate it. Oh, have I don't say this often enough, but I do stream on both YouTube and Twitch, so you can go ahead and go follow me on Twitch as well. It's twitch.tv/AstralGemini. Or if you're on Twitch, you can come over and subscribe to me on YouTube. I really appreciate that. I don't know. If we're talking other than Star Citizen, ooh, maybe the Rocinante from The Expanse. It's a pretty cool ship. Hover quad. This thing's so much fun. We're gonna chuck this up into the A tier. I quite like the hover quad. I like it so much I bought 3 of them actually. I do plan on giving one of them away though. Yeah, I think the hover quad's super neat. Super fun to fly. I've had some just so much fun flying around on the hover quad. I think it handles a lot nicer than the older grav bikes, probably because it's smaller and more stable. But your favorite frigate is the Munificent class Star Frigate. I don't know what that's from. Is that the Genesis in B tier? Yes, it is. Hey, Extreme. All right, the Odyssey, the misc Odyssey. This is such a neat looking ship, honestly. Like I've got to put this in A tier, right? Like the Odyssey just looks really cool. I really like the Clone Wars. Is that the clone ones or the droid ones? I don't remember the names of ships. It's a carrot killer. It's not a carrot killer. They do different things. It is, however, a very neat ship. It is a misc ship, which is always a plus. It has a captain's chair on the bridge, which is amazing. I love to see it. The droid ships. Yeah, those are pretty neat looking. I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. All right, the raft. I like the raft. It's so slow, but it's a neat looking little ship. We're gonna toss this up into A tier as well. Nope, we haven't done the Perseus yet. It's here somewhere. There it is. We're coming up on it. Are you okay, dog? Did you guys hear that? What are you choking on? Huh? Dork. A tier, but the Genesis gets B? Yes. That's correct. The Gladiator. I like the Gladiator. I think Gladiators are a neat little ship. I had so much fun flying the Gladiator in Xenothreat. It's very robust. What kind of dog? The dog flavored dog. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, puppy. Come here. This kind of dog. The fluffy kind.
He's a good boy. He's a cutie. Yes. Yes, he is. Say hello. Hello.
He's like, put me down. Oh, hi, Raylis. Gotta love tier lists. But yeah, I really like the Gladiator. I think it's a super neat ship. The SRV. I have like no opinions on this thing. It's all right. It's like, it's a tugboat. I mean, it's orange. That's all right. The Arrow. Yeah, the Arrow's okay. It's very fast. A little frail for my liking, and as far as ships that I like to fly, he is a cutie. He's such a good dog. I love him so much. Yeah, as far as ships I like to fly, it's a little on the twitchy side for me. But it's a good fighter overall. I think we'll put it there. The Cartual. This is a really difficult one to rank. No, I was talking about the puppy. The Cartual is... It's a neat ship. It sounds super cool. It just plays dubstep in your ears the whole time, basically, which is pretty great. Yeah, like, you gotta love the Cartual. I think the main problem with the Cartual is just that it's not, apart from like sounding cool and being incredibly fast, it's not that great for much else. So I think we're gonna put it in B tier. The Rylan. I like this ship a lot. I think it's very cool looking. One of the coolest looking ships, honestly. And it's just, and I think it's just gonna be a really good ship. Like, it's got big guns on it, quite a few missiles, good cargo capacity, fat shields. It's really cool. It just does look, the Cartual does look just completely wild. It's a really really cool looking ship. The Scorpius. It is an X-wing from Star Wars. It's basically what it is. Yeah, it's a neat ship. I like the look of it. I will probably be getting one when it comes out this patch. I expect it to fly pretty well and be fairly strong. Maybe it will fit in like an Odyssey and Polaris hangar. That would be nice. That'd be nice to see, but the Ursa rover, it's all right. It's like the least fun ground vehicle. It's like fine. 400i obviously is the GOAT. Yeah, just amazing. I mean, it's so pretty. So much fuel. Just absolutely stunning. It'll be an Invictus ship for sure. No, it comes out in 317. The Polaris does, or not the Polaris, the Scorpius. Yeah, Scorpius comes out in 317, which is next patch, so like next month, or yeah. I just love everything about the 400i. It's just, every time I fly it, I fall in love with it over again. The Perseus. The Nomad. I really like the Nomad. I think it's a really neat looking ship. Honestly, one of my favorite ships in the game. It's really neat looking. I do really like the Nomad a lot, actually. I think we're gonna toss it up here in S tier. No, okay, we'll go and we'll talk about the Perseus here. All right, so the Perseus is Perseus is all right. It looks neat. It has some big guns on it. How effective they will actually be, I don't know. I have my doubts that it will be as effective of like an escort ship as like a Hammerhead, just because it doesn't really have any protection against fighters whatsoever at all, period. It has big guns on it, which, I mean, may be able to do some damage to like a capital class ship, but also a capital class ship will most likely also have bigger guns and can just completely blow the Perseus away with like an Idris railgun shot, or, you know, the javelin, which has like 30 size 7 guns as opposed to only 4 that the Perseus has. That said, I do think it's a pretty neat looking ship. We're gonna yeah, we'll put it up. We'll put it in the A tier. The Redeemer. This is a really cool ship. This is one of the first ships that I fell in love with, the design of it. What, the Perseus? Yeah, it's really expensive. It's more expensive than a Hammerhead, and it's smaller than a Hammerhead. By what, like 10, 15 meters, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, the Redeemer, I really like the Redeemer. Some people seem to think that the Redeemer is really ugly. I personally think it's beautiful. I really like the look of the Redeemer. It is one of my favorite ships in the game. It's very powerful, massive guns, looks really cool, has a really neat interior, has a functioning fridge, just a lot of really neat things on it. It's really, really well designed, really complete. Hey, Saban. The Corsair. Now, hold on there. Why is that M50 only B tier? Because it's a B tier ship. Is why. Oh, I just realized I completely forgot to do, like... tags and stuff for the stream. Hold up. Hold up. We're gonna go do tags and stuff real quick. Give me just a sec. There we go. All right. The top turret sticks up too much on what? The Redeemer? Nah, it's fine. I love how the Redeemer looks. I think it looks great. Corsair top of the list. No. I think the M. Okay, you're gonna argue against the M50. The M50 is pretty mid, honestly. Like it's very fast, doesn't have much in the way of shielding or guns, or anything like that. It's a pretty decent looking ship. Like, it's not ugly by any means, but I wouldn't say that it's like stunningly gorgeous or anything. As far as ships go, it's a little twitchy for my tastes, the way it flies. So, I mean, it's a neat ship overall. Here, I'll move it up one for you. There you go. The Corsair. Yeah, I think the Corsair is a neat looking ship. As far as they've shown us some like 3D renders of the interior of it and stuff like that, and it looks kind of messy on the interior. I'm not 100% sure that I'm gonna like that. It's got some big guns on it though, and it is an exploration ship, and I do like exploration, so I think we're gonna put it right there in A tier. All right, the Liberator, the doorstop. I think okay, when the Liberator first came out, I hated this thing. I thought it was so ugly. I've kind of come around on it a little bit. It is still just a big cheese wedge, but I kind of dig it. It's a big ship. It's gonna be very useful once it's in game, and it also the excuse me, the concierge exclusive paint that comes with it looks really nice. I would say that it's still not like my favorite design, but I'll put it at the top of B tier. The Mantis. Oh, I have very mixed feelings about the Mantis, and let me tell you guys why. The Mantis sure looks cool, and it's got like a quantum snare on it, but apart from like having a quantum snare, what's the trash tier that's not the Endeavor? That's the MPUV personnel. Yeah, I think the Mantis is just not that great of shit. It sure looks cool when you've got that that QED, the quantum interdiction thingy turned on, though. Just like that red glow that surrounds it is just so pretty. But other than that, it's like pretty useless. And it's pretty expensive for what it does, I think. You're very tired, going to sleep now? No, you're not allowed. Drake Interior's best interior? Oh, boy. I don't know. I don't know if that's an argument you want to make, considering the Caterpillar exists, and it's god-awful. It's probably the second worst interior of any ship, right behind the Starfarer. It's just nonsense. Till they can get the Reclaimer working, CRD. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. The Reclaimer, man, this thing is cool. It is such a cool ship. The interior of it is just really, really, really neat. It is, I mean, it's got so many floors. It's just a maze inside this thing. It's massive, looks amazing, completely useless right now. Can't even get out of atmosphere if it's windy. So slow. Just burns through fuel so fast. It's just constantly broken. I cannot with any good conscience give it higher than like a medium B, as much as I do love this thing. Until it gets more of a use. Oh boy, is that a super chat I see? Can you go to sleep if you bribe me? Thank you for the $2. I appreciate it. No. You're gonna need a more expensive bribe than that. Why is the Sandtalk where it is? Because I don't really care about it at this current time. I have no real reason to care about it. We'll see when if it comes out, and then I'll reevaluate. But all right, the whole D. This is the D, right? Yeah, the D is in a weird space where it's like, hang on, I need to turn this down a little bit. So the whole D is in this weird spot kind of between the whole C and the whole E, where it's expensive enough to not really be like a cheap utilitarian ship, right? But it's not big or expensive enough to be like a full capital. It's kind of like the awkward, like mid to late teenage years version of the or maybe like the midlife crisis version of the whole series. That said, it holds a ridiculous amount of cargo. Yeah, I think that's just going there. The Pisces. I love the Pisces. Pisces is such a cute little ship. Surprisingly roomy inside. you can fit quite a bit of stuff in the Pisces. It's got some little jump seats if you want to take some friends along. Especially like the expedition version of it has extra weapon hard points. That white paint with the red glass is just gorgeous. I love the Pisces. I think we're gonna toss it here. Yeah. The whole A. I mean, it's the baby brother. Oh, maybe we've got a bot. Can you kill it for me, please? Please? Thank you. I don't know. I don't like the looks of the Hull A as much as the rest of the Hull series. It looks a little bit insect-like to me, and it doesn't have a captain's chair. So I think we're gonna put it there. Yeah. Right, normal Pisces. I don't like the normal Pisces as much as the Pisces Expedition. I think we put it there, yeah. It doesn't have as good of, looks like a retro ugly prospector. Yeah. Yeah, the whole A is just unfortunately not as nice looking as its big brothers. Yeah, I think the normal Pisces is just not as good as the regular Pisces. It has less hard points and doesn't have the nice white paint and red glass. So it's not as pretty either. Freelancer Durr. I like the Freelancer series. The Durr is my least favorite of the Freelancer series. I'm not a huge fan of the paint on it. I just think it looks kind of weird. And it's not particularly, like... I don't know. It's just kind of mid. Like, as far as exploration ships go, there's just a lot better options, in my opinion, than the Durr. I actually think I'm going to bump it down to C tier. I'm not a huge fan. The Nautilus. Nautilus is cool. I really like the Nautilus. I think the concept of like a mine layer ship is just super cool. We're gonna chuck it up here and right at the top of A tier. I think the Nautilus just looks gorgeous. It's got some big guns on it. It's got it you know, drops mines. It's got drones. It's just a really neat ship. The Blista's kind of cool. I think we're gonna toss it in C tier. I mean, it's not like amazingly useful. Yeah, I know what the new the regular Pisces looks like. I just don't like it as much as the Expedition, and it also doesn't have as many hard points on it. To be precise, the Pisces Expedition has two extra size 1 weapon hard points that the regular Pisces just doesn't have. So the expedition version is just straight up better. I think it also comes with slightly better components as well. Both Pisces have the same hard points? No, they do not. The normal Pisces has 2 size 1 weapon hard points. The Pisces Expedition has 4 size 1 weapon hard points. Here. Pisces. Pisces Expedition. They're different. See? Anyways. You're actually going to sleep now? You'll make sure to pop in when I do the next stream? All right. Have a good night. I release you from my clutches. All right. The Ranger. You thought it was like the Aurora where it came with 2 of the 4 slots filled? No, it legitimately just is missing 2 of the hard points. Yeah. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I think the Rangers are neat. Yeah, we'll check them in B tier, I guess. I'll be able to get a better idea, you know, how these are actually when they actually come out, but for now they're just gonna chill in B tier. Yeah. All right, which version of the Hornet is this? I think this is just the basic Hornet. Hornet's a decent ship. Looks pretty neat. Yeah, flies all right. I mean, it's Hornet. It's just kind of like the basic B Hornet, right? Hornet Wildfire is really pretty. This thing looks really cool. I don't think it's really different at all from the normal Hornet, except for being like way more expensive. But yeah, super neat looking ship. I like the Wildfire a lot. I'm actually gonna put it in A tier just because of how nice it looks. The Saber, man, this thing's gorgeous. And very good in a fight too. I do really like the Saber. It's just so pretty, especially with the gold standard pass that it has now. It's got just a lot of good stuff. Do you not have mod powers on that account? What do you... Hang on. Oh, jeez. Let me... There you go. You have mod powers now. All right. The Ares Inferno. Man, the Ares are pretty. They're just not that good. Yeah, I have very conflicting feelings about the Ares. They're like super pretty. The Inferno in particular, that gun is so inaccurate, and it works pretty good against like mid-large size ships like a Connie or the 600i or like a Hammerhead, but against actual capital ships, which is what they're supposed to fight, not really. Oh, I realize this is the Ursa and this is the Gladiator. I'm gonna bump the Gladiator up. I like the Gladiator more. Okay. All right. This is the Hornet Ghost. Hornet Ghost, I will say this until the end of time, is the best version of the Hornet. It has the exact same hard points as all of the regular Hornets, but it also has a 10% signature reduction on all signatures. So it's very stealthy. Hornet Tracker is... meh. The Super Hornet is bad. The Super Hornet is an objectively worse version of the Hornet. You get a secondary seat, which can sometimes access a remote turret. on the Hornet, but it's just not that necessary, really. The other thing is it just has worse hard points in general. Ghost isn't best. Just get the cheapest and buy the Ghost cap in game for like 1,000 credits. The cap does nothing. The cap does nothing. You can... It's the hull of the ship itself that has the stealth reduction. The cap is just there for visual flair. It doesn't do anything. You can take the cap off the center and put a gun there, and it still has so then it has the exact same like guns and everything as like a normal Hornet, but it just has 10% reduced signals for stealth. So if you're willing to spend a little bit more on a Hornet, just get the Ghost because it's just better. Yeah, the Super Hornet is just bad. It's like really bad, actually. It's slower than the normal Hornet, more expensive than the normal Hornet, less missiles than the normal Hornet, and it's just kind of worse, which is really sad, because you'd think that being called the Super Hornet, it would be like, you know, actually better, but it's not. It's just not. Oh, Heartseeker. This thing is garbage. Basically what it is a Super Hornet, but completely broken in every conceivable way. It is so terrible. It is the worst fighter in the game. It is an absolute piece of junk. No one should ever fly it. It is just terrible. Speaking of things being terrible, hello, Starfarer. Oh boy, this thing is bad. The interior of this ship is just complete nonsense. It makes no sense. It's all the assets are incredibly old. Just the entire, like, all of the walls and floor and everything are chrome. And C8X has a tiny stealth dropship. Would this be possible? Anyone know the smallest IR/EM possible? And you know you can get Eclipse to like 300 as benchmark. You might be able to get like a Merlin or an Archimedes even lower than that. I'm not... I would have to do some experimentation, but yeah, it would definitely be possible. The Pisces can have a really small EM signature just because it's so tiny, and doesn't have a lot of components on board either that are going to be increasing the signal on it. If you really set your mind to it, you could make the Pisces almost completely invisible. Like a stock Pisces has a lower signal than like a stock Eclipse does. Give me a sec. Let me just here. Let's do this. We're just gonna chuck like stealth grade A components on everything here. Stealth grade A, stealth grade A. We're gonna replace these with do we want to go with yeah, let's just do longsword cannons. And then yeah, you can get the signal pretty low. This is what a stock eclipse looks like. So yeah, you can get a Pisces pretty sneaky. Anyways, this ship is it's the interior is complete nonsense. The and it's just ghastly. All the assets are really old. It's so slow. It guzzles its own fuel. It's pretty bad. It's not this bad, but it's really bad. The server Gemini is a little bit better. Just because it has bigger guns, missiles, heavier armor plating. And for whatever reason, in my recent testing, it seems to not burn fuel at such a ridiculous rate. I have no idea why, but I'll take it, I guess. So we're gonna check that up in the C tier, I think. Hope that helps you out, by the way, Yafi. Constellation Aquila. Man, this thing is just bad. It's so bad. It's more it's the most expensive version of the Constellation by like $100, and has essentially no benefits at all over the regular Constellations, other than having worse weaponry and just essentially being completely overpriced. It's like if you want to it's just like spend $100 less and get a 400i, which is just better. It's like same shielding, better scanning package, prettier, better living space. Constellation Andromeda. This thing's a monster. This thing can do so much damage. I mean, as we've seen, if you guys saw the like debriefing for the most recent Xeno threat, yeah, the most recent Xeno threat had the Constellation Andromeda actually as the deadliest ship in the whole event. So this thing can really mess you up. It's got great guns. It's great for crew play. Comes with a Merlin snub ship, 2 turrets for people to use, tons of missiles, big guns on it. Yeah, it's a good ship. I really like the Andromeda. This is the Taurus, right? Taurus is pretty good too. Yeah, Taurus is neat. I mean, it's the cargo version. I actually like the way that the Taurus looks. It's a little bit longer than the rest of the Constellation series. Yeah, nice looking ship. And then we've got the Constellation Phoenix, which I think I'm going to put in B tier. It's alright, but it still has like the back half of it is like gorgeous, but then the front half of it is still pretty horrible, which you wouldn't expect from a Constellation. It also has much worse weaponry, missiles, and cargo capacity, and it can't really fit a vehicle in it either. So, the Idris P, or no, this is the Idris M. Yeah, the Idris M. Man, this thing is cool. That railgun is so epic. Yeah, we're gonna chuck it up into S tier. I want an Idris M so badly. It's such a cool ship, man. Such a cool ship. I just love it. Every time I see one in game, I'm always just like, oh, I need to have one. I need one right now. I love it. The Ares Ion. Every time I see this thing, it makes me sad. Just cause they were so good. It was really good, and then it got nerfed into oblivion, and now it just feels so garbage to fly, man. Yeah. We're gonna put it there. Mustang Vindicator. This thing is cool. One of the coolest paint schemes in the entire game. We're gonna chuck it up here near the top of A tier. That white and gold, yeah, that just looks absolutely spectacular. It's so pretty. And those decals on the side that say citizenship must be earned, oh, so cool. Such a neat looking ship. It is just a Mustang Alpha though, which is why I'm not putting it higher, just because it's not very high performance, but such a cool paint scheme. It's very rare as well. Really neat ship. What is this? The Mustang, the blue one. What is that? Gamma? What is this? Gamma and Omega? Blue and red? Idris K beam weapon. Do you think that'll be more powerful than Ares gun? The Ares gun is size 7. So yeah, the Idris K beam is gonna be way more powerful than the Ares gun. You can put the paint on any of the Mustangs. Well, yes, I realize that, but then it's a different Mustang, just with the paint scheme. The original Mustang Vindicator is just a Mustang Alpha, which is, it's an okay ship. But yeah, the gun on the Ares are only size 7. The guns on the Idris are size 10. So yeah, it's gonna be way bigger. I think the Idris K beam weapon is pretty cool. I personally think the railgun is cooler, but that's just my opinion. These are like pretty bad. Yeah, these racing versions of the Mustang, they're like not that good. They look neat, but I don't know a whole lot about racing ships. I just know that they are not very good racing ships even, and they're not very good fighters either. So, all right, the Mustang Delta. I like the Delta. I think the Delta is a cool ship. Yeah, we're gonna put this up here, I think. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, the Delta's a neat ship. It's got these rocket pods on it that are pretty unique to it. I think there's only one other ship that has rocket pods as standard, and that's the Vanguard Harbinger. Yeah, looks really neat. The Omega is super rare and expensive now, like 200. Oh, so it's an overpriced, pointless ship then. Gotcha. The Avenger Titan. This is a pretty good ship. It's not particularly pretty. It's not particularly ugly either. It's good for what it does. Yeah, I think we'll put it there. Huh. One that you want, though. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna move back. D tier. What you want does not affect what my tier list has. Yeah, this Titan is, I don't think, really like any different at all. Same with this one. These three are just kind of like not really that different. This is the Warlock, though. The Warlock has an EMP, which a lot of people don't really know and don't really expect when you show up in an Avenger and then EMP them. Also, it's the only ship that has an actual exposed EMP that you can actually see. Like, if you open the back of the ship, you can actually see it in there, like, whirring and sparking and stuff. It's super cool. I really like the Warlock. It's a neat ship. Yeah. The Gladius, I mean, this is the best fighter in the game. It's really good. It's not like extremely pretty or anything, but, like, it is just the best fighter in the game. It beats everything. It's very fast, has a good loadout. It's just really good. The Pirate Gladius is basically the Gladius, but with a much worse default loadout and a much worse paint scheme, and you can only get it with 6 months insurance. So it goes in the C tier. Oh, boy. All right. Let's just clean up the trash here. Hate Auroras. Hate them. Hate them. They're hideous. They are absolutely awful. They are completely useless. They are claustrophobic. They are just an ugly little flying coffin, and I hate them. And they can all stay here in D tier. The Kraken. Man, this thing is cool. It's so big. I mean, this is one of the coolest ships in the game. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone will agree that the Kraken is just awesome. Yeah, the Kraken's just really cool. I mean, it's just a flying space station with massive guns on it. Like, how can you not think that's awesome? The Carrack. We've got the normal Carrack and the Carrack Expedition. They are exactly the same, apart from in looks. I think that the Carrack Expedition looks a lot cooler. So it goes in S tier, and this one goes in A tier. The Carrack's just a great ship. Extremely long range, very durable. It's like the best exploration ship. Very comfortable quarters. It's just... And the interior is really well done as well. Yeah, I really love the Carrack. It's such a good ship. If there was one thing I would change on the Carrack, I would give it just a secondary ingress point from the ground, because currently it's just the front ramp. I just think it would be nice if there was an elevator in the back. But that's a very small gripe. The Rock. I mean, it's all right. The Rock DS is garbage. It's really, really terrible. It's just the Rock, but worse. This thing, what is it? The G12. Don't have it. No idea if it's going to be good or not. So it's just gonna go here for now. All right. The Kraken Privateer. This thing is absolutely epic. It replaces some of the cargo space on the normal Kraken with a like black market, which is just really, really sick. That's just so cool. It's just like a miniature little city inside the ship, turning into even more of just like a flying spaceport. I think that's just awesome. I really like the Privateer. I think it's really, really, really neat. Yeah. There we go. All right. The X1 bike from Origin. These things look really cool. I don't really know what the difference is between them all. Let's see. Do I have all the different variants? Let me just go and find all the variants. I'm just going to check them into B tier. Is that them all? Oh, whatever. All right. The Valkyrie. I really like the Valkyrie. Valkyrie is a nice ship. I think it's extremely neat. We're gonna check that up into S tier. It just has so many neat little features to it. That yeah, I just really love the Valkyrie. It is, I mean, it's the best dropship in the game, obviously. But just from a personal standpoint, I think it just does a lot of things really well. It's just really neat to look at on the outside, really neat to look at on the inside. It's got cool VTOL thrusters, lots of turrets for people to mess around with, both manned and remote turrets. It flies really nicely. It's got plenty of space for, you know, personnel and as well as gear, and also you can fit like some smaller ground vehicles in it. It's just a really good ship. I really like the Valkyrie. Apollo Triage. I love this thing. This is one of my favorite ships. Honestly, we're gonna put it up here near the top. Yeah, it's like the Apollo, this one, but better. But just better. It just has more guns and more missiles, heavier armor plating. Also, I think the white and red look really good. Pure guesstimate is okay. Do you think CIG has it in them to make more ships, or do you think they are getting around the cap percentage on 1 to 100? Totally cool if off topic to skip these. I think that there is going to be a lot more ships. I do think that most of the ships that we're going to see come out of concept from now on are going to be on the smaller side. I think they are probably not going to do too much more in like the capital ship range, as in like, you know, bigger than like 150 or 200 meters long. I think that maybe one or two more over the course of the game, but I think most of the ships we're going to be getting are going to be kind of, you know, smaller than 150 meters or 100 meters from now on, just because those are a lot easier to make and put together. All right. The Hercules. So we've got the C2, which is the cargo variant. I think is a very good ship. The M2, which is kind of... I think the M2 is actually not quite as great as the C2, because it doesn't have much more that it offers than the C2, but it has less, like, pretty significantly less cargo space. And the A2 obviously has quite a lot less cargo space, but it has the giant bombs, which makes it just super cool. Arrow nest, do it now. Let's see. Where did I put the arrow? All right. There you go. All right. The 100i. Yes, 100i. I like the 100 series. I think all three of these are really neat little ships. I think the 100i is probably there. I think the 125 probably slightly less good. I don't think this is a very good fighter. And I will kind of explain my reasonings. But then the 135 is I think better than the 100i. And so I'm gonna move it up a bit. Yeah, there. This is a great runabout. It has tons of fuel, really good fuel scoops. It's very, very fast. Makes a great runabout daily driver. Azure Moo, oh, thank you for the 6-month resubscription on Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, Moo. I really appreciate it. Do I have the RSI Pegasus on here? I do not, because that is not an official concepted ship. So that's that's not going to be on here. All right. The 600i Expedition. I put the normal 600i in S tier. The Expedition is going to go down here to the bottom of A tier. The interior of it is just a lot less nice. Yeah, it's just not a very good interior. Finally got around to enabling Prime with Twitch. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the interior of this is just not nearly as nice as the interior of the touring version. The arrow is still not an S. Oh, sorry. Let me fix that for you. All right, the Cyclone. Cyclone's all right. They're pretty fun. I think we're gonna put them in the C tier. I just don't think that, as a whole, ground vehicles are not like super useful. Which is why they're kind of getting ranked a little bit lower. If I ever, whenever I refresh my tier list, you know, if they start making ground vehicles a little more useful, then they will probably get bumped up, but for now they're probably going to be a little bit lower on the rankings. Arrow, best ship in the game. Oh, sorry, let me do that. There we go. All right, the Cutlass Steel. I will probably be at odds with some people by saying this, but I actually really like the Cutlass Steel. It is definitely overpriced as far as the Cutlass series goes, but I like it. It's definitely not the best drop ship, but I think it's a pretty neat ship. I really like those side guns. I think they're super neat. So we're gonna chuck it up in B tier. You're now unsubscribed. I do not take demands from terrorists. The more you beg, the lower I move it down. This is my tier list, not your tier list. You're not in charge of me. Alright, let me put up where the crap did I have this thing? Where the crap did I have this thing anyways? There, whatever. All right, Razor. Nobody cares about racing. They're all right. The Nox is kind of neat looking. I actually find that the Nox is probably my least favorite, probably my least favorite grav bike in the game, actually. The Endeavor should clearly be in GOAT tier, lol. No, the Endeavor is exactly where, actually, hang on, sorry. There we go. That's where the Endeavor should be. Yeah, I think the Nox is probably my least favorite of the grav bikes to fly. It's pretty fun, but I find it doesn't control very well. So we're gonna chug it there, I guess, and then the Dragonfly. I also put it there. All right. Okay, the Vanguard series. Vanguards are really cool looking ships. I love these big, like, glowing intakes that they have. The Harbinger, I really like the Harbinger. It's got some things on it that just make me smile. Like the big old, like where it's got a window where you can see like the big rockets. and then right underneath where it has the rockets, it has a little thing that says "with love" and then the Anvil Aerospace logo. And I think that's super fun. Yeah, it's a good ship. It's a really good ship. The Sentinel, personally, I don't like the Sentinel as much. I think I've said this before. I don't really like EMPs. I find them to be kind of, usually kind of fiddly to use and not that great. But in the hands of someone who's actually competent with that kind of thing, the Sentinel's like a really good ship. So we're gonna keep it in the A tier. We're just gonna bump it down a little bit lower for my personal tastes. The Vanguard Warden. This is the bare bones version of the Vanguard and is kind of mediocre because it doesn't have. Yeah, it's pretty mediocre, honestly. And then the hoplites down there too. The Saber Comet. Where did I put the normal Saber? Somewhere in A tier, probably. There's the normal Saber. The Saber Comet is functionally like no different from the Saber. It just looks different. I actually don't think it looks as nice, and it's more expensive, so we're gonna rank it a little bit lower. The Cutlass Blue. Now this thing is neat. I really like the Cutlass Blue. It's very cheap. It has a quantum interdiction device, which a lot of people don't actually know. It does actually have a quantum snare. It is one of only 2 ships in the entire game that has a quantum snare, which makes it pretty unique. It also has the red and blue like flashing police lights, which is super neat. And then in the back of it, it's got all these like body bags hanging from the ceiling, which is just so hilarious and atmospheric. I kind of love it. Let's see, where do I want to put this? Yeah, I think we'll put it there. The Reliant series. Which one is the... Hang on. Which one is the news van? Is the news van the let's see. Okay, so the yellow one is the news van. This thing is garbage. It's just complete doo-doo. It's not like trash tier doo-doo, but it's pretty not good. Because I think it is let me let me just verify this before I start making wild assumptions, but I just don't think that the camera is like necessary. I think this is the core. Yeah, Mako's news. Yeah, I think this is the core. The core is a little better. It's kind of like mid. Yeah, I'll put it there. This is the science one, the Sen. I think that this is the smallest and cheapest science ship in the entire game. Nothing else is even close to as small as this ship that can actually do science. Not that science actually exists or will exist for years, but we're gonna put it there, I think. And then the Tana, I actually really quite like the Tana. We were playing with it on... Was it on stream that we were messing around with the Tana? And we discovered that if you put the correct mounts on the ends of the wings, the co-pilot can actually go in as a remote turret and has a 360-degree view around the ship and can basically just shoot anywhere. It's pretty crazy. And it's got like a lot of guns and a ton of missiles. It's a really good little ship. Yafi too, thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate it. I am working towards that 3,000 subscriber mark. So if you guys could, you know, just make sure to like the videos, share them with all your friends. That'd really help. And also check out my community post where I did a poll on what I should maybe do for my 3,000 subscriber milestone. We're getting there slowly. Anyways, the Argo Cargo. I mean, let's be real. It's pretty trash. But we'll put it at the very top of the trash tier. It's very useless right now. It's just so useless. But, and we're gonna preface this with a but. Once the Idris exists and is actually flyable, the Idris will actually have a dedicated bay for the Argo Cargo, and I'm very excited for that. That's gonna bump it up a lot in my estimation. All right, which one is this? It's a whole series. It's big. It's great. I love it. Yeah, we're just gonna chuck it up there. All right, Catgirl cosplay. Yes, that is one of the options that you can vote for. Who is? Oh my gosh, Samat, stop pinging me. Good heavens. I am not going to be moving the Arrow into S tier because I don't think it's an S tier ship. It's just not that good. Anyways, I just looked over and had like 1 million pings on the Discord. Jeez. Don't make me take away your pinging privileges. The Freelancer. I love the Freelancer. This, actually, the first gameplay package that I got for Star Citizen was the Freelancer package. I really like the Freelancer. I think it's a really good ship. So we're going to toss the Freelancer up into A tier. It is a good ship. The Freelancer Max, still a good ship. I don't personally like it quite as much as the normal Freelancer, just because I think that it being a little chunkier ruins the looks of it a little bit. But here we go. The Freelancer Miz. I love this thing. This thing is a beast. My first like month of playing Star Citizen, this was one of my only ships that I had. Was the Miz, and I was so happy. This thing is a beast in Arena Commander as well. Really, really good ship. I really like the Miz. It's such a good ship. The Idris P. Oh, where did I put the original Idris? The Idris P, I think, is going in top of B tier, just because it doesn't have the railgun, and also has fewer turrets. It's just not as cool. For dog fighting, 1v1, Gladius versus Saber, which is better? Gladius. Gladius will eat any ship in PvP. It is the best fighter. It is not really even a competition. We weren't streaming that specific night, unfortunately. But I was able to completely lock down the airspace around Jumptown one evening with just me and a Gladius. People came in like a Vanguard Sentinel and Ares Ion and Inferno and an Eclipse and stuff like that, and I just ate them all. They were delicious. Cutlass Red. This is the only really usable medical ship in the entire game right now, and it only has tier 3 beds. So, I mean, it's very useful. I just wish that we had better medical ships, like the Apollo. Man, I want the Apollo so bad. I want him so badly. Anyways, the 300i. They came in a ship and left in pieces. Yes, it was very funny. People were extremely angry that I 2v1'd them in a Gladius against their Ares Ion and Ares Inferno and didn't get hit. Yeah, the 300i, good ship. Really good ship. 325. Also really good ship. I think I'm going to put this one a little bit higher as well. 315P is also an extremely good ship. And then the 350R is a little bit worse. It is, I think, the second fastest ship in the game. It's so fast. But as far as like combat goes, it's not that great, and it doesn't have as good of like interior amenities in it. Like it just has a bed in the middle of the ship. Just like, okay. But I still think it's a nice ship overall. Actually gonna bump that up a little bit. Oh boy, Cutlass Black. I don't like the Cutlass Black. I think the Cutlass Black is crap. It's just the whole back section of it is just so uninteresting and horrible. It's all old assets. It's got those doors on the sides that are completely pointless, and if you get out of them and had locked the ship, you physically can't get back into the ship. Because there's no, like, for instance, the Valkyrie has side doors, and when you open the side doors, there's these little steps that go down, like, halfway. So you can jump up onto the step and then jump into the ship. Cutlass Black doesn't have those. It's also, it's almost the exact same price as a Freelancer, but has less firepower and one less shield, and also an extremely low amount of hull HP. It's just just worse than a freelancer in every conceivable way, and is pretty much the exact same price. And it's just not as good of looking, not as good looking as a freelancer. Doesn't fly very well. The HUD is misaligned on it. It's just a disaster. I don't like the Cutlass Black very much. The Caterpillar, I used to really not like the Caterpillar. I've come around to it a little bit. I think it's a pretty decent ship. I don't think it's like amazing. But I think it's worthy of being like here, maybe there. Yeah. The F7A, the military variant of the Hornet. This exists. It is, I think, the rarest ship in the entire game. Very, very few people actually have one. I think there's only people that have like the Legatus pack actually have an F7A. Yeah. So I've never flown one. No idea what it can do specs wise. I guess we'll just chuck it up here by the Ghost and the Wildfire and have that be kind of where it is. The Archimedes Emerald. It's just an Archimedes that's greenish, and the Merlin's pretty much the same. The Hammerhead. Oh, this thing's awesome. I love the Hammerhead. I do really like the Hammerhead. Let's see. I think we put this up there, maybe? Where did I put the Perseus? I think I need to move the Perseus up a little higher. I do like the Perseus. I just put it really low to annoy extreme. Because I'm a dick. The Talon Shrike. It is, again, very, very, very pretty. One of the prettiest ships in the entire game. Where did I put the... I put the regular Talon there. Yeah, Shrike is just as pretty, but worse in performance, because missiles just aren't as good. And then the Scythe. The Scythe. Where do I want to put the Scythe? Where did I put the Glaive? The Scythe is a Glaive, but worse, because I think the guns are slightly worse, and the lopsided look is weird. And it only has one. It has one blade, but the blades don't really work on it. Actually, now that I think about it, we're gonna put it in the C tier because it's kind of broken. Doesn't really work, and it doesn't have like the cool red paint on it. It's just a much, much lesser version of the Scythe. All right. Let me go through here and just make sure that I have put everything correctly. Think we do that. I'm gonna move the Corsair up a little bit. I think I'll move the Pioneer up as well. I forgot to put the Vindicator in S tier. There you go. Fixed it. Okay. gotta move this up a little bit. I do, because I do love the claimer. No, that's what you get for complaining. See, I think I will actually move this down slightly. I'll move this up slightly. Cane Terrabin. M2, move that up a little bit. I'll move these up a little bit like that. I might move this down slightly. It's staying in, the Vindicator's staying in A tier, but sorry. I might move it up ahead of the Sentinel, though. Yeah. Am I tiering things in the tier? Yes. That's what I'm doing. Nitpicky? I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit. Oh, jeez, that startled me slightly. I know they're not very loud for you guys, but they are very loud for me. Yeah, I think. All right, guys, here is the definitive Star Citizen ship tier list. Behold it in all its glory. Isn't it beautiful? And if you don't like where I placed one of these ships, please feel free to go down in the comments and tell me exactly how wrong I am and why you think that. And while you're doing that, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to my channel, and go check out some of my other videos that I do on Star Citizen as well, because they're all pretty good. I stream pretty regularly here on YouTube and also on Twitch, so you can check me out at both places. What are you sending me, Moo? Oh, jeez. You can check me out at both YouTube and Twitch. If you'd like to help support my channel, you can join the YouTube membership or subscribe to me on Twitch if you'd like to. Or I do accept donations. I think I've got a donations link somewhere. Or you can join my Patreon, where I do monthly giveaways of cosmetic items and other stuff like that in Star Citizen. Also, make sure to turn on notifications for my channel, because I will be doing a ship giveaway sometime soon, and you definitely do not want to miss out on that. So do make sure and hit that notification bell so that you get notified when that video goes live, and so you can enter in that giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a consolidated Nomad, not consolidated Nomad, consolidated Outland hover quad. So definitely check that out. If you're new to playing Star Citizen and you'd like to get in the game, make sure that when you make your account, you use my referral code or use my referral link when you to go to the website to make your account. That way you get an extra 5,000 credits and you help support me and my channel as well. It gives me some little incremental rewards the more people I get to use that code, and eventually I might be able to actually get my work my way all the way up to an Aegis Javelin. So if you're new to the game, I'd really appreciate it if you could check that out, and you do get some extra stuff when you start there as well. You can also feel free to join my Discord. Come hang out with me and the rest of my awesome community. We've got some really cool people in there. Really sweet people. We chat all the time about Star Citizen and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you could join. And if you guys don't have an org to join, feel free to check out my org as well. We're starting to gear up and organize things so that hopefully we can do some org events in the near future. So that's definitely something that you can check out as well. If you're on Twitch, that should all be in the info and stuff like that. If you're on YouTube, that should all be in the stream description. So, but anyways, a big thank you to everyone who came to the stream. Thank you all so very much for coming. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, once again, please make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Anyways, I love you guys. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope that I was able to make it just a little bit better. Take care. Bye-bye.
If you play the strings, I'll sing all night. I need a remedy, and melodies always make me feel alright. If you set the scene, I'll dim the lights. Creating memories, we treasure these forever throughout our lives. You can be my remedy, my therapy through the night. I can feel your energy, you healing me, stars align. If you play those keys, I'll feel alive. It's the chemistry, I feel it deep, the strength I had lost revive.